Everyone, I have some late breaking news. China now gets all its soybeans from Brazil because of Donald Trump's tariffs. So you got to think, how much money did the United States lose over this? How much taxable income did the United States lose?
Well, my friends, our farmers are in full-blown crisis, and it's not because of Mother Nature. It's because of Donald Trump's reckless tariffs that have torched decades of trade relationships and handed America's agriculture future to China and Brazil on a silver platter. 12,000 tons of pork canceled. Soybean exports collapsed, and family farms are now shutting down. And it doesn't stop there. Longshoremen, truckers, warehouse workers, entire communities are being gutted. This didn't have to happen, but Trump wanted a trade war. He wanted headlines, and now our farmers are paying the price while China laughs its way to the Brazilian soybean fields. And to make it worse, farmers who sign contracts with their own government, they're being stiffed, left holding the bag. So let me be clear. I will fight like hell to rebuild our rural economy, restore fair trade, and make sure American farmers never again become pawns in a MAGA publicity stunt. This district deserves better. America deserves better.
Regarding all these farmers that are now crying about possibly losing their farms because they voted for Trump, this is why you absolutely should not feel bad for any of these farmers that voted for Trump. Now, the ones that didn't vote, yes, feel sorry for them, go support them, do whatever you need to do. But the ones that voted for Trump, do not feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. I am a builder, and I've been building shit in Oklahoma City going on like 20 years now, and farmers are not stupid. If you have the ability to manage a farm and understand the weather, the climate, your machinery, the chemistry that goes into your crops, you are not a stupid person. You're just not. And especially when you come from generational farming, you have the ability to look ahead and predict what you need to survive. And so when you have two candidates where you have Kamala Harris on one side giving you a whole fucking list of shit that she's going to do for you and make your life better, and then you have Trump on the other side who can't even come out with a normal sounding sentence, and you still vote for that guy, and you are a farmer, you are either racist or sexist or both. And they're only crying now because now they are being treated exactly how they voted for other people to be treated. Got that? They are being treated how they voted for other minorities, people of color, everybody else, poor people, sick people. That's how they voted for other people to be treated. And now they're the ones being treated that way by losing their livelihood, their homes, their income, their farms. So do not feel sorry for them. This is exactly what they had coming. Quick follow-up as to why exactly would Trump be doing this to farmers anyways, and I'm guessing 99% chance it's because he wants to bankrupt farms so his corporate buddies can come in and do a land grab. Basically what you have been seeing the last few years, major companies buying up a bunch of rental houses and jacking up the price of rents, and it's all going to corporations. It's probably something similar to let these farms go to foreclosure and his corporate buddies be able to come in, swoop them up, and now you've got bigger companies involved in more of our day-to-day food.
Wow, CNN just spent 5 minutes fact-checking Donald Trump.
He's claimed several times over the last week that prices on gas and eggs and groceries have dropped dramatically. Here's what he has said today about energy and gas prices, as well as earlier this week.
Energy just hit $1.98 in a couple of states. It's way down. You have gasoline that hit $1.98 yesterday in a couple of states. Gasoline yesterday in 3 states hit $1.98 a gallon.
Here to fact check for us is CNN's fact checker Daniel Dale. Daniel, is there truth in this?
No truth to any of those claims, Jake. So on the days the president was referring to there, last Wednesday and Thursday, there was not a single state that had its average gas price any lower than $2.70. So nowhere near $1.98. Now people might say, well, the president didn't say average prices, he said prices. So maybe there were some gas stations in some states selling for $1.98. I asked the firm Gas Buddy about this. Gas Buddy tracks tens of thousands of stations across the country. They found zero stations anywhere in the country, anywhere below $2.19. So that's wrong too. Now, I'll add that I asked the White House about this. They not only couldn't corroborate the president's claim, but they introduced another lie in sending me a response about the previous lie. They said that if big city reporters actually went out to middle America, they would see that gas prices there are at record lows. Well, I looked into that as well, Jake. Also not true. We're nowhere near record lows anywhere in this country.
Oh, you city slicker, Daniel Dale.
Terrible.
President Trump also has been talking about egg prices, which spiked under President Biden, we should note, and President Trump, largely because of this bird flu outbreak and steps that have been taken. Here's what President Trump said on Tuesday.
We just had a big Easter egg hunt at the White House, thousands and thousands of eggs, and the price was down 87%. As you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 94% since we took office, and they're pretty much normally priced now.
Okay, I just went to the grocery store. That is not my personal experience. Now, I am a big city reporter.
You are indeed.
And it's possible that he's being misinformed by people, but a 93 or 94 or 87% drop in egg prices since he took office?
Yeah, so as you know, having gone to a store and everyone else who's gone to a store knows, none of those numbers is anywhere close to correct. So let's start with retail prices, the prices that shoppers are actually paying. In March, those rose to a record high, $6.23 per dozen. That's about a 26% increase from the month President Trump returned to office in January. Now, we don't yet have the April data. That's important. We may well have seen, I would say probably saw a decline this month. We don't know how much.
Because they're importing some eggs, right?
They are importing. There's a whole plan to reduce the prices. However, we know that it's nowhere near 87, 93, 94%. If it was a 93% drop, Jake, from the month President Trump took office, eggs would be selling for less than 38 cents per dozen. We know that's not the case. Now, if you talk to the White House about this, they'll point to wholesale prices, not the prices people are actually paying. Those wholesale prices have dropped dramatically since the week he took office, about 52%. But again, those aren't the prices consumers are paying. Second of all, 52, while big, is not 87, 93, or 94.
For eggs, you're talking
For eggs,
For 52. Okay.
Yeah.
The president has also just generally been talking about grocery prices going way down. Way down. That's his term, way down. This is something we've heard him say multiple times over the past week, including today.
Groceries are down. Groceries have come down. It's all coming down. Prices are down. Groceries are down.
So look, it's April. I'm not saying any of this is his fault, like in terms of the current prices. He's only been president for not even 100 days. Right. But are grocery prices down?
They are not down. Okay. Absolutely not down. First of all, they generally rise just with normal inflation, leaving aside the tariffs he imposed on pretty much every country in the world, 10% in early April. But even through March, before the tariffs took effect, prices were up. So in March, we had a 0.49% increase over February average grocery prices. People might say, oh, 0.49%, that's not very big. That's actually the biggest month-to-month jump, Jake, since 2022, October 2022. In terms of year-over-year comparison, that March price was about a 2.4% increase over the previous March. So we're talking substantial increases. Again, I'm not blaming President Trump for that. You're not blaming President Trump, but it's going up, not going down.
5 minutes of fact-checking Donald Trump, and it's all lies. We are not feeling any relief at the grocery store. We're not feeling any relief at the gas station. We're not feeling any relief when it comes to the price of those eggs. And yet he'll get out there in front of all those cameras and tell everyday Americans that we aren't struggling. No wonder his poll numbers are in the toilet.
I wanted to start off by saying I did vote for Donald Trump. We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. So the reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there is a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. I'm not the only one this is affecting. So there are other farmers in the comments saying that they're in the same boat that I'm in because they signed these contracts, and the contracts, even like, so whenever I looked into the contract, I made sure that that funding was set aside. It wasn't funding that, oh, we hope it's there whenever it's done. I made sure that that funding was set aside so that way before I made these business decisions, I knew that funding was there per contract. So they're backing out on the contract because they don't have the funding. They can't release the funds.
Oh, I'm a soybean farmer that voted for Trump, and I'm begging him to stop this trade war. Oh, look at you. You're so different. You're so strong. You're so brave. See, you're like a 10th generation soybean farmer, and apparently the president of like the American Soybean Farmers Association. You know that last time he was in office, soybean farmers lost $20 billion because of his tariffs. And our tax money had to bail you out. And you fucking voted for him again. And now you're like, oh, I'm begging him, please stop. This was in Project 2025. Hello? So fucking tired of you people. I saw a video of the cheese lady, the cheese slice lady. I saw a video of her like at a store pointing to cheese and saying, haha, see, some of us can laugh at ourselves. Fuck you. Right. Fucking glaring red flags. You ignored all of it. And now you're like, I'm a soybean farmer and I'm begging him, please stop doing exactly what you said you were gonna fucking do. Oh, I'm the cheese lady. I'm the cheese lady. See, I can laugh at myself. Obviously, I got tricked, but I can laugh at myself. There are people whose lives have truly been impacted by his fucking whims. Cheese lady, we don't need you to laugh at yourself. We need you to fucking apologize. You know what, soybean farmer? We need you to say, I am such an asshole. It was crystal clear. He said, I'm going to do this to you. Now I'm like, fucking apologize to the whole country.
This is an actual sign that was up in Wegmans in Pennsylvania. You know how I know it's real? I took the picture with my own phone when I went to Wegmans earlier today. And it's all about tariffs. Shall we read? Our bananas are imported from Colombia, Honduras, and Costa Rica, which are impacted by a 10% tariff. We are working with our suppliers to minimize the impact to our customers and are committed to keeping our prices competitive on affected items. I applaud this. Every grocery store, I don't care what grocery store, should have signs up like this and be transparent to the American people about how much more groceries are going to cost us because of tariffs. I'm going to take it a step further. Every store that I go in, I want to see a sign or something on my receipt, a line item on my receipt calling out tariffs. I want to know how much more, as an American citizen, I want to know how much more I'm paying because of Supreme Leader Trump's tariffs. It's only fair. Microsoft made an announcement yesterday. They said we're going to raise prices up to 25% on our Xbox consoles, equipment, and games. Other companies have warned that tariffs are coming. I just want to see a line item on my receipt or signs like this to show transparency to every American citizen on why their prices are going up. And notice the sign didn't say one thing. The sign did not blame Joe Biden for the cost of my bananas going up today. You know what the sign didn't say? It didn't say it's Joe Biden's fault that the price of my bananas went up today. Nope, it said tariffs. And you know who put the tariffs in place? Supreme Leader Trump, everybody. Yes, he did. Under his eye.
Probably going to make some people mad, but I don't feel like 90% of us make enough money to even worry about the economy crashing. Everybody is like, the stock market's going to crash, share prices are going down, and I'm like, I never got a share in the first place. The housing market is plummeting. Maybe I'll finally be able to afford one. I want to be in a tariff tax bracket to where I can actually care. The rate we're going, no one's ever going to be able to afford a new car. I've not been able to do that anyway.